News. I'm Rob Hackala, along with Lisa Season, and I promised on Friday mornings, Jake Lowrey will join us. He is the host of Mass Wealth Radio. You know the program. It is on Wednesday nights at 8 on WATD. You can also hear it Mondays at 8 p.m. as well. Jake Lowrey is local from the Lowrey Financial Group and Mass Wealth Radio. And he joins us now to introduce himself. We're going to learn a little bit more about Jake and welcome him, and we'll chat with him every Friday at this time. Jake, welcome.
Hi, Jake.
Hey, thanks for having me on this morning. How we doing?
Doing well. How are you, sir?
How are you?
I'm doing great. I wish the sun would come out a little bit, but I guess it could be worse. It could be snowing right now, right?
That is true. We got to find the positive. Okay. So let's talk about Mass Wealth Radio, because I understand, Jake, you've told us before your main focus is educating pre-retirees and retirees on how to create a holistic financial plan in retirement so they can live with financial freedom, as you like to call it. Sounds good. So what does that mean?
So like you mentioned, we assist pre-retirees and retirees in retiring with confidence. That's our main focus. I do have a fiduciary responsibility as a financial advisor to all of our clients. So we definitely will examine their current portfolio first, just to make sure we're making suitable recommendations to our clients. But ultimately, we want to point out every retiree wants to have a good income plan written up, or a financial, we call it the financial freedom analysis, performed on their current portfolio, and then ultimately they want an income plan or a financial plan so they know how to retire with that confidence. A lot of our clients come in and they just don't have the confidence to retire, and we try to deliver that to them. So that's our main goal.
All right, so how does it work? I mean, what are the main concerns? I mean, these are obviously tough times we're all living through, Jake. What are some of the calls and concerns that you're hearing right now?
Well, people are concerned that, first of all, that they've lost 20 or 30% on their portfolios, right? I mean, especially as they approach retirement. But this isn't necessarily all over either. I mean, our economy is currently at a pause. 80% of our economy is at home, right? And so that's a big concern. Unemployment is up. I mean, everything's shut down. I just heard on the news the other day that Disney World down in Florida, is losing like $30 million a day. Now, I'm sure they have plenty of money, but, the average Joe and Jane doesn't, right? No. And so we're really trying to focus on trying to really protect principal values at this time. As an independent advisor, I do have the ability to recommend plans that work with many custodians, so we can protect their principal value while also giving them the opportunity to maximize growth if our markets do rebound. But who knows when that's going to happen? There's a lot of economists out there that are concerned that we're going to have a second correction here in our markets, which is really concerning me. With unemployment where it's at, the oil prices, there's a lot of concern and worry out there.
There's a lot of moving parts right now, Jake, and you talk about, in addition to retirees, pre-retirees, and there must be people that are in this boat as well that, say I had my retirement plans in place, and I'm ready to retire in so many years, and I'm one of the people that I'm furloughed now, and I had expected to work for maybe 2 or 3 more years. How does that impact? I mean, do you think some people will have to delay their retirement?
They might. My dad kind of went through this in 2008. My father's a client of mine. My father and stepmother are clients of mine, and they were planning to retire in 2009. And obviously they went through the 2008. My dad was always very conservative with his money, but my stepmother was more aggressive. And they took a 36% correction on their portfolios, which did set them back a couple years as far as retiring. But we were able to lay out the income plan for them. That's so important. A lot of clients just have multiple statements out there, and they really don't know how to bring that into a one-page income plan. And I think that's one of the best things a client can have, is to see it all on paper, all their accounts on one sheet of paper, showing them how much they can take out per year, and that will really give them a level of confidence that they probably don't have.
Okay, and what else would you recommend to folks right now who are just so concerned and wondering what they could do, what they should do?
Sure. So we talk about the holistic financial plan. A lot of times when you go see your advisor, they're just talking about the returns on your investment. You want to make sure your beneficiaries are in line. I talk about having a revocable living trust, will replacement. I'm not an attorney, but I work with a lot of attorneys. One of my best friends is an attorney, and he drafts a lot of revocable living trusts for our clients. I have a revocable living trust, at 40 years of age, because I have twin 6.5-year-olds and a wife, right? Mm-hmm. And so having a revocable living trust is something that you might want to inquire about. And you can do a lot of this stuff remote these days. We're doing a lot of Zoom meetings, so we're doing it, through the internet. I mean, I've met a lot of clients through virtual meetings as of late, and we've done this from start to finish through virtual meetings and conference calls. So you don't have to necessarily meet face-to-face to accomplish these missions. We are still open. We have masks that we're offering our clients. We're keeping the social distancing, but we're only inviting clients in because we are an essential practice. We're only inviting clients in if it's something that you've never met us before. We're not doing RMDs face-to-face or withdrawals and things like that. But if you've never met us before and you want to try to conduct some business, and that's where your level of comfort is, then we'll just sit on the opposite side of the table and work the plan from there.
We're chatting this morning with Jake Lowrey, Mass Wealth Radio, the show. You can hear it Wednesday nights at 8 on WATD. Jake is the Lowrey Financial Group, and Jake, normally, when people do come into the office, you mentioned it's in Hingham, right?
Yes, we're 99 Derby Street in Hingham. All
right. And if people want to get in touch, Jake, or have some questions, how do they do that?
So our phone number is 781-385-7263. You can also visit us online at lowreyfinancial.com. That's LOWREY financial.com.
That's Jake Lowrey.
Perfect. Thank you, Jake.
Yes, thanks for having me. We'll talk to you next Friday.
You got it.
Talk to you next Friday. Have a good weekend. That's Jake Lowrey, Mass Wealth Radio, Wednesday nights at 8 on WATD.